Welcome to another episode of Business Beyond the Game. I'm your host, Eric Jackson, and today we have a special guest. You may never have heard of him, but your kids have. Model, FaZe Clan member, and Fortnite star, Nate Hill. Nate, how are you, my friend?
Good, good. I love that intro. That's a nice one.
Nate, you're from Philly. How do you think your Eagles will do this season?
Well, I mean, going into the season, obviously high hopes. Super Bowl last year, which I was actually at. It was the best day ever. You know, I was with my friends. We had like great seats. Unfortunately, we were sitting in the Chiefs section, but that's beside the point. Best day ever. Everyone's drinking, having a great time, and then last 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the game was just. You don't really know how sad it is when your team loses the Super Bowl when you're actually there.
Right.
But you know, this year team's good. People are coming back. On paper, probably a better team, but the first 2 weeks looks a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
But 2-0 is 2-0. So
Yeah, no, you'll get there for sure.
Yeah.
I look for it. You know, Jalen Hurts, everything else. But, you know, speaking of the Eagles, Nate, running back Boston Scott recently re-signed with the esports team, Danitas, as a content creator, brand ambassador, and you know, as someone who's made a name for themselves in this space, what do you just think of pro athletes using their platform, right, as gamers to better connect with their fans?
I think pro athletes joining like my sector, like the streaming business, is really cool. They're like the most famous people in the world, right? Everyone knows who they are, but maybe not as many people know them personally. You know, only like the really big stars are the ones getting the interviews. So that the people that, you know, middle of the road or, you know, good but not flashy personality, etc., they don't really get to talk. So I think it's super cool connecting with them and gives me a chance to play with some of the people that I watch every Sunday. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, really. And you started big in the pro gaming scene, and you sort of pivoted, right, in recent years, focusing more on streaming, you know, via Twitch. You know, how has pivoting from the competitive side to full-time streaming, you know, been beneficial to you in your journey, Nate?
Yeah, I definitely started off my streaming career pretty much solely with the idea of I want to be a professional. And I did that. I became one of the best for like 2-3 years. And it wasn't after like 3 years, I kind of just got tired of the game professionally. I think, you know, and if you're not fully in it, I think with any sports as well, you're not going to be the person you want to be. So I still love streaming though. So I kept doing it and I've been doing it since then. And I think it's become more fun. Now it's like a little lighter. It allows me to do more different things that I like, such as like I'll be streaming golf, I'll be streaming poker, I'll be, you know, doing cooking streams, IRL stuff. So it's opened the door for other things.
I know, I was going to say, you're doing a lot of side missions now, Nate.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're into a lot of different stuff, like you said, cooking, golf, you know, you've done red carpet interviews. You recently competed in a World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
You know, is that a play for streamers like yourself, you know, build a platform and leverage it to get into other points of interest? Like, is that the lane?
I think it's a thing that streamers can definitely do is like, you know, you start off on one game and that's how people know you and then, you know, branch off into other things. And I think especially for me personally, my whole life, I've just had way too many interests, way too many. It's so hard to focus on. I'll just become obsessed with something for like 3 months and then be like, oh, I love this thing now. And I have this like grand delusion that I can just be really good at anything I try to do. And, you know, so far it's worked out. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, no, you know, I think of that convergence a lot, right? Like, I'm curious your thoughts on just overall that convergence between traditional sports and you know, and gaming, right? I feel like it's, you know, opportunities on both sides to, you know, to meet in the middle.
I think it's not even like, oh, I love streaming, I want to keep staying in streaming. I think people that started streaming, playing video games, like myself, one of the main things about them is that they just are gamers. They absolutely love gaming. I've loved it my entire life, and I'll always find something that I want to play. You know, it doesn't matter what I do. If I end up having to do a 9 to 5 30 years from now, I'll still come home and play video games, you know?
Right.
So I think people just love that.
Right, definitely. And for you, you know, what do you think of just more leagues and sports teams just getting into investing in gaming organizations? You know, we've seen Baker Mayfield doing the Fortnite dances, and, you know, we've seen, you know, just a lot of aspects, you know, kind of mentioning like the Boston Scott, you know, the running back for the Eagles. Like, you know, what do you just think about the overall convergence there and the opportunities that could come out of that?
I mean, there's a lot of crossover between sports fans and gaming. Like I talk about football and soccer and all kinds of sports every day on my stream. So I think the fans are a lot of the times together. So
Yeah.
like we've my team, FaZe Clan, have done collabs with. You're actually looking at. I'm wearing a Man City shirt.
Oh, nice, nice, yeah.
Like we've done partnerships with Man City, and we've done partnerships with the NFL. Actually, we've done
Yeah.
like flag football games at the NFL draft, promoting that. And I
Kyler
think there's a
Murray.
lot of there's a lot of like crossover where we can kind of help each other get into new audiences, etc.
Nate, for you, the esports world is, it's teetering a little bit, right? Some turbulence related to profitability. What needs to be done or undone, Nate, for there to be more viability in the esports world? Is it a publisher thing? Is it sponsorship? I'm just curious your thoughts on, if you could do one thing to sort of, right the ship a little bit, what would that be exactly?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I'm
I
not
think
really.
everybody's trying to figure out that answer, right?
Yeah, if I knew, I think I'd be even a very more rich man. I say, here, just do this, and I'll get you guys a lot of money. But there are a lot of like new potential sponsors coming in for like Gamers 8 is doing a lot of stuff and buying up a lot of the companies and putting a lot of money into tournaments again, which I think for the last year and a half, some of the bigger esports, such as Fortnite, have been much smaller in prize pools, which maybe that has something to do with lower viewership, etc. Is because people want to see the big money payouts. They want to see who wins the 2 million, etc.
Is it a matter of the game title being popular? Because I feel like you hit Fortnite right as it was a wave, right? It was like, how much do you think that just plays into?
Yeah, Fortnite was a huge wave too, and I think right now at this exact moment there is a bit of like stale, like nothing is brand new that people are fully obsessed with. There are a lot of good esports still out there, like Counter-Strike, Dota, League, Valorant are all doing pretty well when they're doing the big tournaments, but like overall it's a bit smaller. And I think like you just said, it's just you need that new game, that new wave for people to hop on to bring it back.
Yeah, for you, Nate, you have your hands in different buckets, like, and I see a lot of athletes, even the ones I speak to, who are kind of similar, right? They don't want to just be an athlete, right? They want to do other things, and how much do you encourage as other athletes and people in the space to, kind of be similar in your way, not be stuck in one lane or just be open to, other opportunities.
I've seen a lot of athletes doing that, like getting into, like you said, either esports or different sponsorship opportunities or starting their own funds or what have you. And I think it's really important. Like, you're not just one thing. You're a human being. Your mind is always all over the place. You're always striving to do something new. So being categorized as just a football player or just a Fortnite player is pretty it's pretty annoying. It's like, no, I got this other stuff I like to do too. So
Yeah.
I think it's important.
No, I love that. I love that. And you're someone a lot of young people aspire to, especially Nate. And I'm curious. What advice would you just give to some young folks who want to be full-time streamers one day, or pro gamers? You would say.
I would say, try to do it as much as you can when you're first starting, especially when you're young. That's when you have all the time in the world, and most young people aren't really paying bills or have much to worry about. So stay in school, get a real job maybe, and put the time in. You have to. It's all
Right.
about that time and effort and love for the game. If you love it, I think you'll find a way.
Yeah, because before it was like your parents would tell you, put the games down. That's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
And now you see scholarships and other things that are available in gaming.
Parents are like, get on the game. You need to make us money. It's awesome.
Exactly. Like
I love it.
that seems the future in a lot of ways. And
Mm-hmm.
but for Nate, for you, kind of round us out here. What's just been the best business lesson that you've learned during your career? Navigating gaming and streaming and different opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not the biggest businessman. I just kind of show up and do stuff. But what I have done, and I've prided myself on doing my whole life, is showing up on time and putting in effort to when you're supposed to do something. I've seen too many people in this business take it for granted and just not be there when they're supposed to. And I think that reputation carries a really long way, and is why people continue to want to work with me.
Man,
So
that's
be on
real.
time.
It's like so simple, but so like on
so
point,
easy,
right? It's
right?
like
But Just
Show
do it.
up, right? Yeah. Show up and do the work. I love that, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, there you have it, folks. The streaming star, Nate Hill, who's steady doing side missions. Thank you for watching Business Beyond the Game. Nate, I appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
Thanks. Appreciate you.